guys, this is Zara, of course. Um, as you know, big activist I am. So, um, this video, I want to get all the people who watch this video to sign a few different petitions that I've seen circulating around. Um, they're both very discriminatory against trans people. One, well, I'll explain them both in more detail, but one is based out of Sweden. It's more for trans men than trans women, but still very discriminatory in general. The second one directly affects me. Um, I'm not saying you should sign that one more because of that or anything, but just anywhere you hear that trans discrimination is going on is just disgusting and it needs to stop. It's basically trans aren't allowed to board planes in Canada anymore. Um, and I'm Canadian, in case you didn't know. In case you never realized that. Yeah, I'm a Torontonian. Um, yeah, so basically, the first one, I'll start explaining this one. It's in Sweden, which I always thought was a very trans or LGBT friendly country, from what I've seen of it. Anyway, I haven't been to Sweden before personally, but I don't know. I guess I've heard that it's gay friendly. Well, that's just it. It's only gay friendly. It's not trans friendly. Um, it turns out that to legally change your gender in Sweden, you're forced to be sterilized. So yeah, basically forced sterilization happens. Um, and as I said, this is more for trans men than trans women because, well, trans women are basically sterile anyway. We can't have our own kids regardless. I mean, after such a time of being on our hormones. Um, so it really makes no difference to us. I mean, obviously it needs to, we shouldn't have to do that, but still, it really doesn't matter to us because we can anyway, but trans men, if they really have a desire to have their own child, as in, like, the trans men wish to get pregnant and give birth to their own child, then they can do so. Um, if you've heard of The Pregnant Man, it's a trans man who was on testosterone for like 8 years or something, and then he stopped it for a while, got a sperm donor, and he was able to have like 3 kids. So, and that was in the media like a few years back. But yeah, trans men can, if they choose to, have their own children. So to force them to be sterilized is just disgusting. They kind of justify it by saying that we're not mentally stable, which of course we are mentally stable. Um, us being transgender has nothing to do with our mental health. It's just like a personal, if you're trans, Um, it's just like, it's who we are. We were born female. We were born in a male body, but with female mind, I guess, or vice versa if you're a trans man. Um, yeah, so I'll post a link in the description for this video. It'll have a place where you can get to both petitions and you can sign them if you're an awesome person. Yeah, so that's one of them. And the other is, well, it's here in Canada, and I gotta say, when I read this, I lost a lot of my pride in being Canadian. If anybody asked me if I'd much rather, like, I don't know, if I'd want to be an American, I would say hell to the no. I love being Canadian. I'd much rather be a Canadian than American, but with this, when I read this story, that we can't board planes, I guess, I kind of lost my pride in being Canadian because I thought Canada was a lot better than that. Yeah, I'd still rather be Canadian than American, but but this made Canada just a little bit worse. And if I have to go to Ottawa to protest this, I will, because this needs to come to an end. I'll explain it in a bit more detail. An air carrier shall not transport a passenger if the passenger does not appear to be the gender indicated on the identification he or she presents. So, also, this is only an issue, I guess, if you still have, like, if you're a trans woman and you still have that little M on all your identification. And yeah, in Canada, you can't legally change your gender until you've had SRS. So, yeah. So I still have the little M on all my IDs and everything. And anytime I have to show that to an official or whatever, I get it really weird. Yeah, my face is changing color. The computer screen in the background here, it changes. Besides the point, what was I saying? Whenever I have to show that ID that has that little M, and it still says Harley because that's my birth name. I'm a slacker on legally changing my name. I have to get that done. It just kind of creates an awkward situation. Not because of Harley, because that's a gender-neutral name, so it really doesn't matter, but seeing that little M, and of course I'm a woman, so, and I appear female, and I am female, so it just kind of creates an awkward situation. It's never gotten to the point where I've been denied access somewhere or anything like that because of it, but it looks like now that would happen. And this really actually does suck for me. I mean, I hadn't had any actual plans on traveling anywhere yet, but lately I've just been thinking I want to have my surgeries, of course, and after I have my surgeries, I want to go back to school. But I've been thinking if maybe one thing I should do first is just get a little traveling done, because I just need to. I'm one of those people who wants to see everything like there is to see. I want to go all across Europe. I want to spend like 5 years traveling through Europe, like actually, and I want to go to Australia, Thailand, China, Guatemala, so like anywhere in South America. I want to see everything on Earth. Of course, that takes money, and of course, I'll have to be able to fly in Canada. So, yeah. And I'd recently been thinking about moving to New York. Because that's where I plan on going to school. Yeah. But, again, who knows? Well, New York isn't far, so I guess I could drive, but whatever, that's besides the point. Yeah, it's just I'm kind of ashamed in my country for doing this. And yes, I suppose it could be a way of stopping a terrorist, but isn't that kind of the same argument that people use for us, for like, say, a trans woman going in the women's bathroom? That's the same kind of argument we get there. You could be some pervy guy trying to look at little girls. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just a woman who needs to go to the bathroom, so shut the fuck up. It's really the same thing. You could be a terrorist trying to kill us all. So could this guy over here. I just want to fly, so fuck off. Yeah, like, okay, well, I guess I rambled on enough, so. Oh, and also, this kind of makes it a bit better, but there haven't been any reported cases of this actually happening, of a trans person being denied a flight because of their being transness. But still, it's just, why is this even there to begin with? It's just discrimination. Yeah. So I will post a link to both pages where you can sign both petitions, and whoever is super awesome can sign both. and we'll see both of these horrible discriminatory acts come to an end, and we can be happy, and we can live our life that much better until until further down the road where it gets this much better, and then we'll have freedom and we'll be equals to everybody else, which we should be. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is ZaraHarley, of course.